Hi, welcome back to Ask the Medic. My name is Dr. Esther Yesuto Agbozo. You can call me Iya the Medic. You know that here we like to discuss topics that are otherwise seemed, as taboos. We like to discuss anything about health, whether it's sexual, mental health, general well-being, anything health. Now, today's episode, we are going to be discussing a very, very interesting topic. Yes, I know that people like to fantasize, and so today we're going to be talking about anal sex. Now, people would usually think that anal sex is something that doesn't happen. Data has shown that even for people who are heterosexuals, a lot of them engage in anal sex. And so it is very important that we talk about the ways to make it safer. We talk about the complications of anal sex so that you are informed, and as and when you are engaging in this activity, you know what you are doing. Now, when we talk about anal sex, we need to first understand the anatomy of the region that we call the anus, okay? Now, the anus is designed such that it is not as elastic as would have with the vagina. Now, because of that, the lining in the anus is rather thin, and so it is easier to break, it is easier to get injured, and you can have a whole lot of issues happening there. Because of that, anytime you're engaging in anal sex, you need to understand that you are at risk of having what we call tears. These tears can lead to infection, and then these infections can lead to so many other complications. You can also have, for females, you can have what we call a recto-vaginal fistula, where there is now a connection between your rectum, or the region where the feces usually collects, and then your vagina. For some people, they may end up having feces coming out of their vagina. Yes, that can happen. And then for the men as well, you can also have people develop fistulas as well. So some people can have fistulas now having their feces going into their bladder where their urine is supposed to be. So the person goes to pee and then they are seeing feces and they are surprised, right? Now we need to understand that in as much as there are these complications about anal sex, people are still going to explore, people are still going to engage in anal sex, whether we like it or not. And so we need to now ask ourselves, how do we make it safer for people who still want to enjoy or explore and have fun with this particular activity? So for those who want to explore, we just encourage you that, first of all, you need to understand that it has to be done with consent. So both parties have to agree to engaging in this activity. Both of you need to know the health implications of what you are doing, what you potentially can have, all the health complications that you potentially can have, and both parties have to agree to do it, okay? So you need to have a conversation with your partner, be on the same page with them. If they agree to engage in it, then you can go ahead. Now, once you're trying to engage in the activity, I've said before that the anus is not as elastic as the vagina is. The lining is very thin, so you have to be extra, extra gentle, okay? Because anything vigorous, any little vigorous activity can lead to the tears and all the fistulas. Some people can even develop hemorrhoids, which we call in our local parlance coco, and have bleeding from the anus and all that. So you have to be gentle as possible. And then again, you need to use a lot of lubrication. We need to understand that the anus was not designed to produce any lubrication. Now, when it comes to the vagina has some glands, okay? We call them, we have the Bartholin glands, we have the Skin's glands. These glands produce a lot of secretions during arousal. The anus is not designed like that. And so it doesn't have any secretions at all. And so if you don't use a lot of lubrication, you are standing, you have a risk of injuring the area, right? Now, you are encouraged to use more of the water-based lubricants because the region is not designed to produce any lubrication itself. The water-based lubricants work better than the oil-based lubricants. So these are some of the things that you can do to make your anal sex safer. So what have we said today? Today we've said that anal sex is something that people are going to explore, whether we agree or not. It has been shown that even married couples and heterosexuals are engaging in anal sex. It is not just an activity for people who are deemed to be gay. And we also said that there are some complications that can arise from having anal sex. We've talked about the tears, we've talked about the infections, we've talked about the fistulas that can happen, the recto-vaginal fistulas, okay? We've also talked about the potential of getting hemorrhoids, which can bleed, okay, and lead to so many other complications. And we've also talked about fecal incontinence, where people are unable to hold feces in because the anus has what we call a sphincter. So the activity now makes the sphincter loose, so people can have fecal incontinence. And then we've said that to make the activity safe, ensure that you are doing it with consent, ensure that you are using a lot of lubricants, and ensure that it's a gentle approach, you need to ensure that you are not as vigorous as you would be with vaginal sex, and it has to be as gentle as possible. When you do these things, you would understand that your anal sex will be more pleasurable and safer for you. Now, I have to add, everything that I've said, please, is for married couples, the singles. Yours is abstinence. My name is Iya the Medic. I'll see you again on Ask the Medic. And until then, bye.